Keep getting a shout.
Welcome to Seth's Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, and thank you guys for subscribing. We're blessed enough to have a singer out of Eastern Kentucky, a singer and songwriter, Donovan Howard. How are you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. How are yourself?
I'm doing great, man. And I know you just got done singing an hour on Facebook, and you do that every Monday, right?
I do a classic country show every Monday night, where I'll sing. I try to sing stuff that's at least 20 years old, but I do some Earl and Waylon. And tonight I done some, I done a Josh Turner song that might be 20 years old. I've done Brooks and Dunn song about 20 years old. But and then I sing some of my own stuff too. So every Monday night, 7 o'clock on my Facebook page, on my music page.
Absolutely, man. And send me that link, and I'll put in the description of this video on YouTube.
Will do.
Absolutely, man. Definitely appreciate you being on, man. And I know you've it's been hard getting you in. It seems like I'm just glad to finally have you in, man.
Well, my schedule and your schedule just colliding. It seemed like last week you got sick. The time before I had something else come in, but we finally got her done.
Absolutely, man. And if you want to, Wednesday's good for you because starting next Wednesday, I'm starting a music podcast with a guy that reacts to live music on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll have you on a Wednesday and do a musical performance, and he'll do a live reaction to it. It'll be awesome. He'll probably react to this too. I'll send it to him, and that'll get you some more eyes on your music and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, man. And, well, man, I know people don't want to hear me talk a lot. So what song are you going to be playing for us, man?
I'll play something. Let's see if I can fumble my way through this. This is just about a week old. This is called Gone Crazy. I said I'm gonna burn this whole town down tonight. It's the last thing I ever do. When it's all just ash and smoke, blame it all on you. Let them talk about when I was a good man back in my younger days. Till I gave my heart to an evil woman, threw it all away. And I went crazy, oh, but they ain't seen crazy yet. Call me crazy, yes sir, crazy as I can get. Well, you know, sticks and stones make break your bones, fruit always fine. I went crazy, oh man, crazy, lost my mind. You know, I ain't seen a sober minute in the past 3 weeks. So don't come around here with all that stuff about turn the other cheek. No, you don't know how I feel, afraid you never do. And you best leave a sleeping dog alone when he goes off on you. And they said I went crazy, oh, but they ain't seen crazy yet. Call me crazy, yeah, man, crazy as I can get. And you know, sticks and stones may break your bones, honey, that's a cold hard truth. I've gone crazy, have mercy, crazy over you. Call me crazy, yes sir, they ain't seen crazy yet. I'm gone crazy, oh man, crazy as I can get. You know, sticks and stones funny, that's a cold hard truth. I'm gone crazy, have mercy, crazy over you. I'm gone crazy, have mercy, crazy over you. There you go, my friend.
Thank you, man. I definitely appreciate that, and you did a good job, man. And what inspired that song? What inspired you?
Well, songs are funny. They who knows where a song comes from, man? I write a lot. I mean, I try to write at least one song a week. So I'm constantly looking for something that either I see or hear or somebody has said in front of me or something that I read. And I've got a friend who's going through a pretty nasty divorce, been on it for like 10 months. And then he's got another dynamic going on in his life as well with another lady. And it's just a big drama fest all the time. And the last 6 or 8 songs that I've written is probably somehow or another going to tie back to that experience in life that he's going through. Me and him talked about it, and we're both fans of Guy Clark, and he said that he had read something or heard something that in Nashville back in the day whenever a songwriter went through a divorce, it'd be like 5 guys come show up and live with him for 6 months because they want to soak all that in. They want to get all that vibe so they can write songs off of what's going on, you know, all the drinking and the partying and the crying and all the things that goes along with losing a woman. So I guess that's where it comes from my buddy's bad misfortune.
Definitely, man. I mean, when somebody around you is going through something, I mean, definitely like helps you like write music about their life. I mean, and stuff that happens in your own life, man. From what I've heard from other songwriters, I'm nothing when it comes to like writing music. I'm not musically gifted at all.
I used to say that I used to try to write from personal experience. I lived too boring of a life for it to sustain itself. So I started having to find outside resources. And I write from, like I said, from articles or a book that I've read, or even I watch a movie, and like I watched Clint Eastwood, Outlaw Josie Wales, just one of my favorite Westerns of all time. And ended up writing a song. It doesn't mention Josie Wales in any way, but the song really centers. It's really rooted in the story of Josie Wales, what went on. You know.
Definitely, man. I mean, if you think about it, back in the '60s and stuff, it's untelling how much of the songs was inspired by John Wayne and his movies.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely, man. John Wayne is one of the best actors out there.
I like John Wayne and Clint Eastwood both, and Robert Duvall makes a really good cowboy. Tom Selleck made a good cowboy. My dad is a big Western fan, and he's passed it on to me. There's not been too many Westerns that I've not seen, I don't guess. Let's get way back there in the Roy Rogers. And I've seen a lot of that stuff, but I don't care for it as much as I do from the 70s forward. And I didn't like the Italian ones, the spaghetti Westerns, the mouths and the words didn't match. I can't hardly go there. My dad will watch that stuff. That's the only Clint Eastwood movies I can't hardly stand to watch.
Yeah, man. The good, the bad, and the ugly is a classic.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. And who was the singer that inspired you when you was young, when you was younger, when you was a kid and stuff, to want to pursue a music career and sing?
It's funny, we were talking earlier. Probably Elvis was my first inspiration. I mean, when I was like 8 or something, he died like just a few days before or after my 8th or 9th birthday, and my mom was a big Elvis fan and of the whole 50s music, you know. And then I got a little older and I really got into the rock scene and listened to a lot of Southern rock. Then I listened to a lot of hair metal in the 80s. Along with some country, I really liked Waylon and I really liked Hank Jr. And then by the time I was 18 or 19, it had pretty much moved to country altogether. Steve Earle's first album really blew my mind because him and John Mellencamp were singing that Small Town album, Blood on the Scarecrow. That they were singing things that I felt at the time about being stuck in a little bitty town and, you know, what's the best chance I'm going to have in life to get out of here or to make something in my life other than nothing. And it's funny, at 16, 17, 18, the way I felt then, like now I have no desire to live anywhere else than where I do now. Maybe if I do somewhere warmer, the only thing, definitely not any bigger, but that Steve Earle's first album and John Cougar's Blood on the Scarecrow, both those albums really inspired me to want to create that way, to that Americana. It's kind of country, but it's kind of rocking too. It's walking a fine line there.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, Tyler Childers today could be considered a little bit of rock and a little bit of country, and Chris Stapleton as well. And for my generation, them are the two Waylon Jennings and the Johnny Cashes of the world, and the Hank Williams Jr. and all that, man.
Yeah. I come up with Hank Williams or Hank Jr., you know, and I read something the other day. He released like 27 albums straight, and everyone went at least gold. He's releasing an album every 8 or 9 months. I mean, and people don't realize that. I mean, he put out a lot of music, and it was great, and it still carries a lot of weight today, even though a newer generation might not be turned on to it as much as my generation was. He was a soundtrack for the late 80s, from like 85 on, at least from 85 to 95. He was a soundtrack part of my life.
Yeah, I mean, growing up here in a small town, Tyler Childers is from Paintsville. Chris Stapleton's from Paintsville. Both of them were from the same place, man, and both of them done a lot of shows in Pikeville, Paintsville, Prestonsburg, and all that, man. Definitely inspire people in Eastern Kentucky to, like, know that you can, if you put the work in and stuff, you have a chance to get out of here and make it big time.
Oh, Tyler opened up, no doubt Tyler's opened up more doors in the last 5 years than anybody for Kentucky songwriters. The original music scene is so much better now than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago when I was playing top 40 country band, I mean, if we done one song a set, that was a lot to turn people onto one original song a set, 4 a night in 4 hours. And now I play shows sometimes where I sing nothing but original songs. It just depends on the venue, and even when I'm playing a patio gig at a bar and grill somewhere, it's not unheard of for me to sing 2 or 3 of my songs in the set, you know, in an hour. I can get away with it. 20 years ago, you couldn't have done that. No way. The owner would have come and asked you, what are you singing? I didn't pay you to sing that. You got to sing what's on the radio.
That's definitely a good thing, though, man. And is there more venues today than what there was 20 years ago?
There is, just because of the bar and grill thing. I mean, I play in a lot of places that don't even have a stage. It's just they move a table out of the corner, you know, and I sit on the bar stool and sing for a couple of hours. And 20 years ago, it was just more or less either a bar or I played a lot of places that wasn't even a bar. They were just a dry dance hall where people come and dance on Friday and Saturday nights. And you play from 8 to midnight. But yeah, there's a ton more opportunities, a ton more places to play now. Almost all, since COVID, if there was anything positive to come out of COVID, all the restaurants put in a patio. And in the warmer weather, almost all the patios will accept live music now. And that's great for people like me who play solo, because I got no interest in playing 4 hours of cover songs and splitting it 3 or 4 ways with a bunch of other guys. And that's not my gig anymore. I'm not into that.
Definitely, man. I mean, with the band, I mean, you have egos and stuff like that. I mean, you're better off just doing it by yourself today. Definitely.
Yeah. I've got some buddies that we split shows from time to time. We can get along, and I always enjoy that. It's easier than singing by yourself all night long, but I'm not interested in a band. I wish I had a couple guys I could call on from time to time that we could do some festival gigs, play for an hour or hour and a half or something. But to have a full-time band, I'm not interested in it.
I don't blame you either, man. Definitely not, man. And people need to know that the singers are doing this for their love. This is their love, man. They're not making much money doing this.
Right. Oh, I've spent, God, man, I couldn't tell you how much money I've spent on music in the last 35 years. It's ridiculous. People don't realize when they call and ask you if you can play, and we'll feed you. Well, I can feed myself at home. That's not going to put gas in my tank or buy strings or pay for this $1,000 guitar I'm playing, or it all costs money.
Definitely, man. And the bad thing is, since COVID, it's been there's like a lot of businesses that say we used to do shows before COVID and stuff, and now we can't do shows. I mean, I've heard that a lot, me booking shows and stuff.
It seemed like I said, with the patio thing, it's gotten a little bit better for me, at least in the summertime. And some of them even, I know, like one local, I booked there through the summer and then didn't try to book in the fall because I figured it'd be too cold after October. Well, they ended up buying tarp, having their patio all put in and put some heaters out there, so they still got live music going on. But I missed out on booking all winter because I thought it was just going to be a summertime only. So I'm waiting on spring to hit so I can get back in.
Oh, around here in Eastern Kentucky, there's some places not having shows and stuff. We've been having better luck booking out of state. Actually, we got a tour coming up in March, a 3-day tour in Tennessee.
Yeah, I've played Tennessee several times, but I've not got anything booked down there right now. I'm going to West Virginia, or going to Virginia in a couple of weeks. I got a place over there that I play, but I really like the place and I really like the owners. I try to get over there at least 3 or 4 times a year. They put me up for the night, so me and my wife will stay all night with them, hang out. They're just really good people. They got a really good business. They believe in their little town, and they're not greedy. It's all about me. They support other businesses around them, and they got a really good mindset about what it takes to make a community.
That's definitely a breath of fresh air, man. Definitely. I wish there was more, not just venues, towns like that.
Yeah, me and you both. I hate the competition that comes through all this. I hate it on the musician side of it. Golly, I know people. I mean, I don't dislike one band. I like all kinds of music. To think that I can't have a fan that shares a fan with somebody else, it's ridiculous. And there's places to play everywhere. If you're playing in Lexington, these bigger cities, there's bars and restaurants everywhere to play. I mean, why be competitive and try to cut somebody's throat? That's just not my thing.
Yeah, man. That's the thing about me and Tony. We're humble and we appreciate everybody that supports us, and we appreciate all the support from the venues and the fans and everything, man. You'll never hear one of us talk bad about anybody out there. That's definitely, man. I don't understand why people hate so much.
That's that big green jealousy, man. Jealous. Only person I'm in competition with is myself, man. I'm trying to be the best me that I can be and create the best music and present it in the best way. That's all I'm trying to do, and not be something that I'm just me. If you don't like it, hey, that's cool, man. Move on to the next thing. You don't have to like everything in life. Try it though.
Yeah, man. And you never know, this summer or spring or next winter, you and Tony might be doing a show together, hopefully.
Yeah, man. Sounds good to me, man. I don't care.
Yeah, man.
Be taking that.
Absolutely, man. Tony's a great guy, man. You and him would be a heck of a show to go through, man. You two would be the best of friends.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir, man. But yeah, man, I'm impressed with your writing skills, man. What age
Thanks.
did you start writing music?
I started trying as an early teens, probably 14 or 15, and I didn't come from a musical family, so I struggled about learning things, and we didn't have access to internet. You know, it wasn't even a thing, and so you're trying to learn off of a record or learn off of an album or find another musician. And as a teenage boy, it's hard to find another musician when don't have musicians in the family. My first song was probably when I was 17 or 18, and then with work and family, I got married at 18, and I wrote a bunch of songs, and then I had some time off. Work got in the way, and jobs came and go, and raising kids, and I didn't play for a long time. But I've been back to writing songs pretty regular for the last 4 years. You know, off and on for the last 30. But I've been hitting. I think I got 30 something last year, and about the same the year before, and about 65 or 70 the year before that. So if I apply myself, I can get one a week without problem. Some week I'll get 3 or 4 if I'm in the zone, if I really apply myself. But when I gig a lot, and that takes up some time, and then working, and you know, and life in general, it's hard. And then recording, I record at home, so it's hard to keep everything balanced. I don't know how some people do it. I'm not the best at it. But if I can get 30 or 40 songs a year, generally I can get enough out of that to make a CD that I'm content with.
Absolutely, man. That's impressive, man. Did COVID inspire any of the songs you wrote in 2020?
No, not really. COVID kind of hurt me because I lost like 20 some gigs right off the bat in March, and I kind of went through a little bit of a funk over that. And then we couldn't go nowhere. We couldn't go out to eat. I wouldn't go visit my parents because they had me scared to death like everybody else. And we just, they sit at home a lot and took the dog out walking or spent time together. But it really put a cramp on my writing. And I know a lot of people that recorded and wrote tons of songs during the COVID shutdown, and I was the opposite. I kind of hibernated and didn't do much creative at all in the way of music. But I'm back now. Thank God I'm back now. So.
Yes, sir, man. I mean, you're right. There was a bunch of people that wrote a bunch of songs. There were some people. What's his name? Luke Combs wrote a song called 6 Feet Apart.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That song definitely.
Much modern country, but I like that kid all right.
Yeah,
he's
man.
all right. I like the fact that he's not a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of these skinny jean wearing hip hop floppity flop dudes. He is more of a country. I mean, he's got a little bit of a modern twist to it, but he's got a pretty thick country vein in him. And like I said, he's not a pretty guy. He's just a good singer, and he's a good writer. I mean, I know he co-writes, but that's really popular in Nashville, so I understand that. That first album was co-written a lot of it with his producer, and I'm sure it worked out really well for him. So I wouldn't change that if I was him.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the biggest country singers out there today.
Right, yeah.
Who do you think is the underrated singer out there that is it's kind of big, but he's not as big as what he should be in the country music scene?
Man, I'm so far out of touch with modern country. I couldn't tell you. I know I know some stuff that I like, but people probably wouldn't even know who it is. I really like Charlie Crockett. You know who Charlie Crockett is?
Is he from Kentucky? I think I've heard of him.
No, he's from Texas.
Oh.
He sings classic country. Even the stuff that he's wrote sounds like it's from the 50s. But I love his voice is really unique and it's different. And I seen him live in Somerset a couple of years ago, right before COVID, the summer before COVID, and him and his band, and his band was great. He's got a piano player that's playing the organ with his left hand and trumpet with his right at the same time. And He's really good, entertaining. I mean, if you like classic country, and I do mean classic country, 50s and 60s, he covers some Willie Nelson stuff. And he covers songs that you probably never heard of it, unless you grew up then. Unless you're an old man, you've never heard of it because it's stuff that I never heard of. You know? But I would put him on the list as I wish he was more well known than he was.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of singers here in Kentucky, man, that are underrated as well.
There is, and there's who knows what makes a person like somebody. Some people, and this is just between me and you talking. Some people don't know what they like till somebody tells them what they like. They don't think for themselves on any level. They don't root for a football team until somebody tells them what football team to root for. And I hate that. I wish people would think for themselves. Like I said earlier, if you don't like my music, that's fine, man, because it ain't for everybody. Everybody don't like chocolate. Some people like vanilla. That's what we got. That's why Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors of ice cream, so they can suit your needs. But I hate the fact that some people just jump on because everybody else likes it, or they think everybody else likes it. Tyler's that way. Tyler's great. Don't get me wrong in saying this, but I know for a fact that a percentage of his fan base is just that because he's the hip, cool, groovy thing now. I've had people come in and request me to play a Tyler Childers song, and they wouldn't even say Tyler Childers. They would say Tyler Childers. Now, if you don't know how to pronounce his name, you're not a fan. And if you don't know any of his songs, you're not a fan. You're just asking because you've heard other people say it.
Yeah. There's a guy that I hear his voice last year. No, when was it? Yeah, last year. He's from Kentucky. I think he lives in West Virginia now. He does a bunch of shows around here in Kentucky. I think he'll be on Tyler Childers' level here in a couple of years. Logan Halstead, man. Dark Black Coat. That song is fantastic.
I thought you was going to say John R. Miller.
Who's that?
John R. Miller.
Definitely will check him out. What does he sing?
You just need to check him out. He's got a song called Dirt. It's really good. He's been on Outlaw Country I've been hearing him a lot on Outlaw Country on Sirius XM. I actually heard him on as a guest DJ on there a few weeks ago.
Definitely, man. Have you heard Logan's music? He's really good.
I have. Yeah, I've heard him.
He's got a Tyler Childers voice, actually.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah. I was playing him one time, and a bunch of people said, "When did Tyler Childers release that song?" I said, "That's not Tyler Childers."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate you doing this, brother.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. This has been the interview with singer-songwriter, Eastern Kentucky's own Donovan Howard. I want to thank him for being on. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.